Every day, you, along with millions of others, wake up, put on your clothes, and perform a variety of other daily activities using products that seem to come from an enchanting place called the store. But where does all this stuff really come from? Countless resources went into making household products readily available to you and I, and it seems as if they all just magically came together. So this is my very short analysis on where we really get some of these things from. According to a recent study by the New York Times, the average American in the middle income bracket spends $5,614 on food a year, $1,680 on apparel and services, $1,889 on entertainment, and another $2,028 on miscellaneous spending. So that's about $11,000 a year on just on things that get us through the day. All this money is pouring out, but what are you really buying? Let's start out by looking at my friend Lauren. She's a young American who, like many others, gets up in the morning, showers, brushes her teeth, and performs other daily activities without giving much thought into how these things actually came into her possession. The shampoo and soap may have contained any of the following ingredients. Sodium lauryl sulfate is a detergent. It's a foaming agent used for testing on animals to irritate their skin in order to test further healing agents. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, these studies have shown that undiluted sodium lauryl sulfate can cause tissue damage when exposed to skin, and corneal, iris, and conjunctival changes when exposed to the eyes. Benzyl alcohol is a chemical found in many household products, and sometimes naturally occurring in some foods. The synthetic version of this chemical is, again, according to the EPA, toxic to fish when it leached into waterways. As for its effect on people, the only known negative effects are in the liver and kidney of infants, as adults are able to fight off any potential harm caused by the chemical. Although an organic compound, this is another ingredient that can cause serious health damages, both immediate and long-term when chronic exposure is implemented. Citric acid is an organic acid, usually used as a preservative. Chronic exposure can be harmful to the liver, eyes, bladder, brain, and even fertility and sperm count. However, when researching this, I found that the results were limited. The conclusions have been drawn from experiments on rats and rabbits, but the toxicological reports have not been thoroughly investigated. I actually had this issue with a number of ingredients. The EPA, the FDA, even Google couldn't help me find out what all these things are. And we put them on and in our bodies without even thinking about it. Aside from some overlapping ingredients, almost all of these cleansing products have one thing in common: plastic. First, the petroleum is drilled and transported to a refinery. The crude oil is converted into a number of petrochemicals. The propylene and ethylene are then combined into a polymer. Then that combination goes through a few more steps involving heating and cooling, and then they are shipped to manufacturers who will later shape them using their own molds, thus creating the nice clean containers you see at your local grocery stores. All that, though, doesn't even touch on the subject of who was involved in the process of bringing all these things together. Along every step of the way, there is someone there, working, drilling, overseeing, managing, planning, testing, researching, teaching, assembling, filing, designing, selling, and even more. All this so that we are able to enjoy the simple pleasure of our morning routine. Even though I've gone through a couple of the steps it took to get these things to Lauren, I really haven't even begun to scratch the surface. The U.S. imports billions of dollars worth of products every year, so anything you buy has most likely traveled through a number of places before reaching you. Everything we buy from the store first comes from an elaborate web of production, and doesn't it seem now, more than ever, that we are all becoming concerned with the ingredients in our everyday products? Maybe if we all just paid a little more attention to the what and where of these items, we wouldn't have to worry so much about harmful chemicals and environmental hazards. If we all seem to value our health so much, then why use products with so many mystery ingredients? And why don't we ever question where they come from?
Each day you will find enjoyment as you partake of the